welcome to 108 Gates. We're doing a general reading, as it's been a while since we had one. Hope you're well. What have you been up to? Where are you watching from? Let's get into this. We are coming up to some significant shifts and changes of energies. It feels like we're walking in one direction, and then some things are needing to be addressed, some things are needing to be assessed, and then there could be some cancellations, or there could be some kind of reaffirming, yes, that's the way I'm going to do this, or it's going to be major adjustments. So it feels quite significant, in the sense of it's like a commitment to something or not. So you may have decided you're going to commit to something a while back, but then now you might find that I can't actually commit to that for whatever reason it is. But then it's the process of letting go of the initial commitment. So if you, for example, have took all this time to write an application form or apply for a course, and then you find out that it's not for you, it's not the correct thing for you, it's a matter of allowing it to just release, let go, because you don't want to keep going in the direction of something which is not for your higher good. You don't want to, just because you've said yes to something initially, doesn't mean it's going to be yes for the whole interim of it. So this is about sifting through those things you said yes to, and actually it does work, and it might be delayed, it might have to be at a different time point, but it is good for you, and therefore you are going to make sure that you have the correct approach and time and energy and effort applied to it to make sure it happens. Yet there's other things that are going to be coming to your attention where it's like, I just don't need to be doing that anymore. I just don't need to be in that same thing, in that same group or that same vicinity. So devotion and luck. Interesting. So devotion and luck. With this, it's feeling as though your what appears to be luck, what seems to be luck, is your ability to assess right now correctly what is for me and what is not. So if, like I said earlier, if you committed to something but it's just not fitting in, you just can't you can't agree to certain things, or you just can't do it in a particular time, that shifting process, that finding a win-win, that finding a mutual agreement with something is really going to be beneficial. And again, the same energy is coming up of those things that you agreed to and committed to, but they're just not working, they're just not clicking. Allowing yourself to let go of them, because it's going to bring in more of what seems like really good luck. It's going to bring in more of what seems like fantastic opportunities, which actually are more suitable. So Queen of Pentacles here under the luck, really showing that you have a chance to upgrade certain things, you have a chance to improve certain situations. It's a matter of being really kind to yourself, also being kind to whoever it is you're dealing with, in the sense of, if you have to say, sorry I can't do this, sorry I can't be there, or whatever it is, doing it in a compassionate and loving, kind way. Okay, that's just fell into my hands. There you go. Being considerate, being understanding that just because you have realised and understanding that you can't do something, or you don't have the time for something because there's other pressing engagements, there's other pressing responsibilities, there's other things that are priority over this, that or the other, it doesn't mean that others are going to see it that way or understand it that way. So it's just understanding that communicating this effectively, gently, in a kind manner is going to be really essential. So your compassion, okay, your compassion here is going to be invaluable. So Ace of Cups. So here you are literally saying, something's not completed yet, something needs my work and attention, something needs building on. And as you say that and you admit that, it's going to be, what's the word, it's going to be, it's showing your integrity. It's going to be showing that you're not presenting yourself to be something that you're not. It's going to be showing some vulnerability, because this part is saying that I haven't got everything done, I haven't got everything completed, I am working on something at the moment, and I need to be attentive to it to see it through. I need to be attentive to it because it's at a vital point of making sure I get to the next phase, the next stage of it. So this is going to bring about some kind of vulnerability, and then it's going to bring about some respect from others, because they're going to see that you're not pretending to be someone you're not. You're not pretending to have all your shit together. Basically, you're going to literally be saying that this bit of my life and that bit of my life is working really well, but this bit right now, I really don't have a clue what's going on, or I really need to work on it because I'm not where I need to be with it. And that is going to bring some respect, sorry, because it's going to show that you're not scared of being truthful about who you are and what stage you're at, whereas some people might be presenting themselves in a false light, and they've just they're not looking at the faults. There's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just simply saying that if you're presenting like this and not showing that you've still got stuff to work on, then it's going to be leaving those people in a bit of a sticky situation. So this part here, putting the cups into like flow. Interestingly, this is upside down, but it's flowing up. So this is feeling like one of those energies of make sure you're not investing in those leaky buckets. So those things that we pour time, energy, effort into that just does not have any reward. It doesn't have any benefit to self, or where you're putting the bucket, where you're putting the energy into it, just they're not receiving it, they're not appreciating it. So why would you do that? So making sure we're not doing that anymore, and making sure we're being more, the words keep coming and going, we're being more discerning of who we put time, energy and effort into. And again, like what I'm saying, just because the plans aren't fitting together with certain things, it is going to be a lot of jiggly, whatever jiggly means, energy. So whenever you're trying to reshuffle the schedule, the effort to reshuffle the schedule to make things happen is going to be appreciated by the correct people. If somebody wants you to do it exactly, okay, now we've hit on it. If someone wants you to do it at this point, in this way, at that time, in this location, and they're not being very kind or considerate of what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve, that is going to be like a warning sign of like, do not keep putting your energy, time and effort into this space if you don't think you're going to get some kind of respect of like you've got something to work on. This is time sensitive. And it's time sensitive for a reason. It's pushing you to not be so compromising of yourself. It's pushing you to be more aware of priorities and what you need to do. So let's get a card for the Ace of Cups. Right. Wow. So in the past, I can definitely sense that in the past you may have been putting your time, energy, effort into things which were not for your higher good. So self-defeating behaviours, self-defeating patterns, self-destructive things, and it doesn't mean like that you're literally destructing yourself, but indirectly as well. So when you're working towards something, and then you just kind of let go of it, or you abandon something when it's not fully built. You abandon something when it's not fully aligned with what you truly want and truly want to do. This is going to be highlighted or not. Depends on if you want to see it or not. So this is why it's like you've got to show your devotion to what you're doing. You've got to show your devotion to where you're at. You've got to make sure that you're committed to where you're heading, committed to your journey, committed to your path in a way that's going to require for you to say, I can't do this right now. I can do it maybe in a year, depending on what it is. So I can maybe do it next year. I can maybe do it in the winter or in the summer, wherever you are. Like it's some kind of commitment that's the beyond your ability to do it. You literally, your hands are tied. You have to be. It's time sensitive. So I'm seeing images of like a farmer wants to sow a certain seed. They want to plant a certain crop, but this year their ground is just not. It's just not going to hold that that crop. It's just not going to get a good yield. So it's like, you know what? I'll leave it this year and I'll plant it next year. That's the kind of vibe of what it is. It's time sensitive. Is making sure that just because you can't plant it doesn't mean you go and plant it regardless because you want it to grow. It's a matter of looking at the situation, looking at the resources, and actually making sure that you're doing something that's going to be worthwhile. Kind of for a general reading, this is quite out there. So looking out towards the horizon, when you're looking out towards the horizon, making sure you're assessing appropriately, making sure you're assessing in a way that's going to help you understand which direction now. This devil energy up here is really, it's about sacrificing certain things in the past that you maybe shouldn't have, making sure that you're focusing and concentrating on this area over here. So let's get a card to confirm this space over here, or give us more insight as to that commitment to self, that commitment to the process, that commitment to what are we doing. There you go. You got to stock up and stock up and stack up your cups. So you didn't have these cups just come from nowhere. You acquired these cups. You got these cups from somewhere. They are your cups. And I'm having like an image of the Nine of Cups. You don't get Nine of Cups without collecting the other ones first. So you may be lucky and get all 9 cups, but it feels like these 3 cups are essential to getting those 9 cups, which is then essential to getting that 10th cup. So it's interesting that this cup over here is upside down. The more you put the energy into something that's not going to bring you benefit, it's not going to bring you something that you thought it's going to bring you, or you want it to bring you, then it's just not going to be worthwhile. And I think the sooner you see that, the sooner you agree that, the sooner you accept that, the easier it's going to be on you to move on and work towards what is good for you. So the Emperor here is bringing in higher guidance, bringing in a higher perspective of all of this situation, and being very pragmatic. It's just about taking precautions, but also looking at things very diligently, looking at all the details, looking at all the T's and the I's you've got to cross and dot, and just making sure, where does this fit with me, where does this fit with my path, where does this fit with what I'm attending to, where does this fit with what I'm trying to achieve, where does this fit with where I've just got myself out of, where does this fit with where I'm heading towards. So there's a lot of questions around here of like, just simply, does it fit? Justice here, well, all the cards nearly went out my hand. Justice here is feeling as though it's assessing something, like something was off, something was unjust, something was not giving you what you needed as much as you were giving it. It was not reciprocating it. So this is why it's really important that you reciprocate and you bring back your energy. I'm hearing soul fragments. You're retrieving your soul fragments. You're retrieving all those things that you just let people take, or people came and took it from you. It's like retrieving all your and reclaiming all of your essence, your strength, your courage, your abilities to do things that others have led you to believe that you can't. So feeling a bit tied up in this, and this isn't something to worry about essentially, because it's kind of inevitable that this is going to come in because of the nature of the energy. So feeling a bit tied up, feeling a bit confused, feeling a bit, how do I step forward with this, that and the other? Again, here, so if you think about those situations where someone's like, well, should we do this and should we do that? And you've committed to something, and then after a bit of time you say, that's not actually a good idea because A, B and C, but you've committed now and you have to do it. Yes, but now, in hindsight, when I've evaluated it all, I can see where this is not a good idea. I can see where this is probably not going to be beneficial. Therefore, it doesn't mean we can't cancel this agreement. We can't cancel this project or this arrangement. So it's going to be about you standing up for yourself and getting the justice you deserve. It's about you standing up for yourself and making sure someone hears and sees that your commitment to the best outcome possible is really important. Otherwise, it's 10 of Cups upside down. That literally flew out and floated. It was a bit weird. But you don't want to be losing. You don't want to be losing. So when you're looking out to all this stuff, making sure that you're reclaiming and stamping your ownership on things, you're readjusting, you're reassessing, you're reevaluating, and making sure you're heading in a direction where you're building certain things. Yes, it's going to come up with a few messages or instances or events where you're going to be feeling stuck and trapped, but those are the indicators and the really important points at which you can evaluate, how would I normally react in this situation? How can I react now so that I'm actually going to be able to get on with what I need to do? So like I said, that's quite a intense daily reading, but it is what it is. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, hit that bell, and I'm going to be doing the astrological signs slightly differently, just because the nature of my life is shifting and changing. So I'm going to have it on a flow. I'm just going to literally do them all in a cycle. So it could be that you have it once a month, or it could be that you have it twice a month, or however much it is, but it is going to just be coming up as they come up in the order that they want to come up in. But all of them will be done, and then another cycle will begin. So it will be very intuitive, it will be very ad hoc-y, but they all will be done before the next cycle begins. So if you're into that, if you're interested in that, and you're excited by that, please do hit that subscribe and the bell. Until next time, lots of peace and love.